Leah and I actually met in 8th grade, which is sort of crazy. I think our marriage proves that you might not be crazy saying that you're gonna marry your 8th grade crush.
His mom was my junior high teacher. I got really close with her, and Jesse was the big bad cool guy in junior high, so he dated all the 8th grade girls and he was kind of scary. But then 8th grade we created a friendship and ended up liking each other, but that didn't go anywhere because it's junior high. But I still kept in contact with him through high school and still maintained a relationship with Lisa, his mom.
But around my 2nd semester, my time at Biola, my freshman year, we ended up reconnecting. I went and I led worship at the junior high that we used to go to. I posted a picture on Instagram of me leading there, and Leah commented on it. She at the time was actually in South Africa and was spending some time there working in orphanages and homeschooling some children of some missionaries out there. The first almost 4 months of us getting to re-know each other happened thousands of miles apart, and it was just a lot of messages and emails and phone calls. I'm kind of thankful for the space because I think it allowed us to, without sort of the distractions of life here, and there's a certain lack of seriousness that can happen when you're in each other's proximity because it's awkward or because you just want to hang out with other friends, I don't know. But because we had just concentrated times of talking on the phone, where that's all we were doing, it wasn't awkward because it's over the phone, we were just able to get to know each other so well. And I think that that's when I started to realize, like, even that early on, wow, this is something special. And then when she came back from South Africa, I was like, we have to hang out. Leah confessed to me, she said that she had never been taken on an actual real date. That was like a defined, this is a date. And so I told her, you know what, I'm gonna take you on a date. There's no questions about whether it's a date or not. It is a date. And we went to Cafe Veronese in Fullerton, this beautiful coffee shop that's an old house that's been converted and has a bunch of pretty lights and old street signs and everything. And we had our first date there.
It was my first real date. I had never gone on an actual date before. So Jesse took me to Veronese Cafe. He wrote this beautiful note about our relationship being rekindled. He bought me coffee, we had crepes and ice cream. We actually went to a Bible study that, like, right before that. It was just super random, but it was beautiful and it was like really important to me because he was the first person to take me on like an actual date and pay for me and drive me around. We hit it off and we dated for 2 weeks and we've been together ever since. So that was almost 4 years ago.
Well, I kind of knew early on that it was something special. After we started dating and I asked her to be my girlfriend, I remember there was a time when we were driving in the car. I don't know what we were talking about. We were talking about something. I tell this story too. It's when I first decided, you know what, I love Leah. And it was just an easy conversation. I just realized I could talk to this person for the rest of my life. And that's something I had been longing for, was just a partner and a companion to share life with in that way. And then when we drove actually up to see one of my best friend Jonathan marry his wife now Kayla, and it was on that road trip and then watching that wedding with Leah that I decided I'm gonna go home and start saving for a ring. Because it was, if we can get through this, you know, days on the road together and still love each other and end up more in love, yeah, she's the woman I want to marry. The proposal, actually, let's bring it full circle, happened where we went on our first date at Cafe Veronese. Leah is a wonderfully complex person who deeply values simplicity, and so I knew what she didn't want was some sort of spectacle. The thing that would probably bring her the most joy was something that was meaningful but simple, not necessarily full of a bunch of people, something a little bit more intimate where she could just sort of cherish the moment and not feel overwhelmed. And so what I did was I did a bunch of research this one week and found specific dates of significant things in our relationship. I was actually able to track down the first time she bought me coffee. So everything from that to when we said that we loved each other, trips that we had gone on together, significant things that had happened in our family, both good and bad, and just kind of walking through that. So I wrote them all out on little scrap pieces of paper, and then I put them in the table where we sat at our first date. And so on our first date, I wrote on a napkin something along the lines of like a wonderful rekindling of a seemingly hopeless past, I think is what it did. Because Leah and I see this rekindling of something that seemed so silly before, but now was taking on new meaning. And so I started it with that. I rewrote that on a napkin. And then I wrote all of the memories from our relationship and had them put in the table. And we went and got dinner, and then we ended up at Cafe Veronese. And I invited her over to that table, like, oh, let's see if our original note is there. And she's like, it's not there. Like, I've checked. I said, well, let's see. Maybe it is there. She's like, Jesse, it's not there. I was like, let's go see. And so I kind of tagged her and brought her over there. I was like, oh my gosh, it is there. And then ended up reading all of them. And then I had written her a letter, and she read the letter. And then I got down on one knee and proposed.
And he wrote these beautiful letters and dates, just a lot of memories that we had together. And then at the end, he wrote me this amazing letter asking me to marry him.
She cried. Leah's a big crybaby, and I was certain I wasn't gonna cry. But the second I got down on one knee and was trying to ask her to marry me, I just started crying too. So we were just both like a crying mess, trying to like get a ring out of a box and ask a question and say yes. But yeah, we were both so happy.
Went home and all of our family was there. We drank champagne and it was incredible. So it was super easy and not anxiety producing, and it was very Jesse. So I loved it. It was thoughtful.
I think Leah's the most intentional person that I've ever met. She showed me love that was like very specific to me. Like early on, she kind of learned, what makes Jesse tick, or what are the things that bring Jesse joy? How does he like to spend his time? Or when do I see him most happy and fulfilled? And would pinpoint those things and then make them happen. Or like find little ways to just bring more of that into my life. I would never think to love people that way. And so to have someone who constantly by example pushes me to love people that way, and who loves me that way, it's just the most attractive thing ever, I think.
Jesse is just like a genuinely good guy. I remember when I was in South Africa, I kept saying, I want to be with someone like Jesse, because Jesse's just like way out of my league, but to be with someone like him. And then I ended up getting him, which was awesome. But Jesse is just like a well-rounded, genuinely good person. And to me, that was really significant because I didn't have a lot of people like that in my life. And he's hilarious and very handsome, and he has an amazing family.
I think everyone growing up has this idea in their head of the perfect person for them. What our relationship has taught me is that that's a really silly thing to dream up and imagine, because I didn't even know what I wanted or what I needed. I have found my most faithful companion and trusted friend, the person who has so creatively and consistently expressed love and care for me. I just could not have dreamed up something like that. And it's so silly now to think of the types of things that I did, because they seem so shallow in comparison to the depth of love that you've shown me. So I love you, and I thank you for that, and I thank you that I feel truly like I have a gift in you.
Thank you for choosing me. Thank you for fighting for me and for our relationship and for my sanity. I'm very, very lucky, and I don't know what I would do without you.
I've had the pleasure, and I do mean that, to walk through some really difficult things with you, both in your life and in my own. In that, I feel like have been able to sort of glance a really honest view of sort of the depths of your soul, both the beautiful things and some of the dark things, and just to see how you respond to those things surfacing, and how you run to the people around you that you trust, and to Jesus and to me, and how we can face those things head on. Just give me a confidence that when hardship comes, because I know that it's going to, I have a partner who will side by side with me walk through that intentionally and meaningfully. I can't ask for anything more. I can't think of a thing on this earth that I need more than someone to walk into difficult life situations with. But then also the wonderful joyous things. I love your laugh. Your laugh brings me so much joy, and I love making you laugh, and I love laughing with you. I can think of nothing better than to have a person who I can sit in a boring car ride with and still cherish life. So thank you. I love you. I cannot wait to marry you today. I literally have been looking forward to this for almost 4 years now. So I'm excited and I love you.
I hope today is really memorable and beautiful. I look forward to all the ups and downs that life will bring to us. I look forward to getting old with you.